Unfortunately, the mountain can't chase the wind. The wind brushes up against the mountain and goes wherever the wind goes. The mountain is forced to stand still, stand erect, be strong. And fortunately, unfortunately, that's how we men have to be. All right. Now, I'm only speaking from a heterosexual aspect. I'm not even an expert on that, but I'm not going to speak on anything else but my own experience. And if it's one thing that I wish I would have done going into relationships, is understanding that attachment will be your downfall. Trying to fight for something where you're the only fighter and it takes two will be your downfall. Okay? That's the thing. You don't want to try to make you don't want to try to convert a cat into something that is loving. Now, I don't want to stereotype, but typically a lot of cats, they kind of standoffish. They like to do their own thing. They don't like to commit to anything. um, and they don't. A lot of cats don't really like being all strangled. With love and things like that. So, they like the open invite. And analogy aside, I don't know how I got into that. It's a slippery slope. You start messing with analogies. I don't want to do that. I want to get straight to the point. And but back to what I was saying though. I don't know what the future holds for me because my priorities aren't even on relationships. Going into courting or I don't know dating or whatever it is, I want to be. I want to keep a bit of distance within myself from any woman that I may be pursuing or dealing with. Because attachment is very dangerous, and attachment often comes from just a scarcity mindset. Could be desperate, could feel like nobody else would want you, low self esteem, whatever it is. Yes, men do experience these things. Probably wouldn't be quick to announce something like that, but you know what it is. And a lot of you men, you already know. I'm not telling you something that you don't know. You know what it's like when you get attached to a goddamn woman. And women they got a lot more options than you have. And hey, if they tired of you, they'll act on it. They'll get rid of your ass fast. They be in somebody else's bed the next day. All right, every woman's not like that. That's true. But I mean, it is what it is. Women get shown choosing signals all the time. Do they act on it? Of course not. Not all the time because you know what? It gets very redundant. A lot of women don't feel safe. A lot of women can sniff what men want. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't, so a lot of these men, their game is messed up because they think that just because they want something that a woman is gonna want it too. Meanwhile, I mean, they getting choosing signals from all over, especially if they look real good. You know what I'm saying? So here's the goal and here's the tool. All right, here's the way. I want the goal to be the way. It's like a milestone. All right, so I don't know where you are. For a lot of you guys who are single right now, you're in a pretty good spot. All right, because you right now you can establish how you're going to be when you go into your next relationship. All right, first of all, it's all about priorities. All priorities, priorities, priorities. All right, something that I wish I would have beat into my fucking head before I decided to start dealing with other people. But loneliness happens, and before I had a child. But it is what it is. Okay, can't take it back. So no regrets in that regard. But it's time to establish again priorities. I just cannot leave that alone. Establish your priorities, what you want out of life, all of that. In fact, I mean, a lot of you guys, we on the semen retention spectrum. That should always be first. And I wouldn't blame you. I would probably even advise you to not even try to deal with women or try to pursue women until you're more established, more solidified. I mean, something fall in your lap, then so be it. But also at the same time, if you choose to, that's fine. But you need to protect yourself, and by understanding that attachment could be your downfall. Attachment could be what knocks you off course. All right, and I didn't even get to the point of this video yet, not just yet. Um, the point of this video, because obviously you see it in the title, so please forgive me if I was a little bit misleading, but I will speak on that now. Let her leave. I think I kind of did mention it earlier, but because I talked about like not fighting for something that you're the only fighter for. Let them leave. Okay, keep your dignity. Again, which is much easier to do when you don't have that type of attachment. You have to have this type of abundance mindset, which is only going to come from how you view yourself. All right, so you got to spend a lot of time with yourself, and don't think that because you don't have what some of these other guys have that you're really missing out. I mean, yeah, that you're really missing out on something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's so many women in this world, and you'll never get a chance to meet them all. You won't even see 1% of these women, but there are so many of them. Okay, and there's an old expression: "Build it, and they will come." Translation: Build it, and the women will come. All right, so yeah, I mean, a lot of you guys, you have stumbled upon this, whether if you know it or not. You know, say you started working on a business and that business got you 6 figures, and you got a little pep in your step. You know what I'm saying? You got a little thing about you. You know how to make some money. Got your own place, got your own car, obviously. You got things working. You got some money. So if the opportunity fall in your lap, y'all can meet up. You can go to her place. You can go to your place. You can have an expensive dinner one good time, not tricking off. Or whatever. You can just always be about your business. Worst case scenario, you get yourself a prostitute. Now, I don't necessarily advise that, but you can. Now, I mean, what's the opposite of that? Living in mom's basement, no money, no job, no ambition, jerking off all the goddamn time, you know, crying about how nobody loves you. You know something? I know that story because that was my story. It's not my story now. Nah, I'm definitely not where I want to be, but that was my story. Very sad, very sad shit right there. That's enough to make a man want to kill himself. Got nothing going for him. Just only wish that I had the 29-year-old me to say, "Hey, look, get on your purpose, man. Find something. Like, stop wasting your fucking time, bro. The TV ain't gonna save you. Jerking off ain't gonna save you. Crying ain't gonna save you. Staying in the room all day ain't gonna save you. I mean, it could, but the way I was doing it, it wasn't gonna save me. All right, you can get a lot done in your room. You know what I'm saying? I gained 10 pounds in this room, the healthy way, exercising. You know what I'm saying? I make videos like this. You can make some money in this room on the computer and stuff like that. But that wasn't what I was on. I was on some other shit, man. See, that's the problem you got when you're dealing with low self-esteem. All right, and you don't value yourself enough because you're not getting validated by other people. All right, so back to my point. Let them leave. And once you accept, because I've been dealing with this with my child's mother, and I'm almost at my wit's end for real. Once you accept that that it's over, and they on their way out, the sooner the better, bro. I mean, just just let it break, man, and just heal and become who you need to become. Become stronger by way of working out. You know what I'm saying? By way of reading, by way of meditating, by way of building yourself up, by way of accomplishing things. And you will be proud of yourself. Yes, broken hearts, yes, you'll experience that, of course. You will hurt. You will feel lonely. You will feel FOMO, aka fear of missing out. but you aren't too far away from how things are uh, being the complete opposite. You know what I'm saying? The complete opposite of how things are. It's hard to believe that when you look at your circumstances and you like, man, I'm down bad, man. But I'm telling you, man, it's first of all, time goes by fast, and also, man, we just live in a day, man. We're like, man, look, everything's not about money, but like, shit, it's millionaires being made every day. You know what I'm saying? Progressions just being made every day. It's the compound effect. A little bit of here, a little bit here, a little bit here. Just keep doing it because you know time gonna go by, and we all gonna get a bill. We all gonna get the bill for the way we lived. You know what I'm saying? Some bills just gonna be a little bit heftier than the other. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of things that we choose to do as ambitious people, we don't have to do it. But what will happen if we don't? You know, if you don't tend to your studies and keep working at your own personal craft, whatever it is, then you may find yourself at a point where you're so stuck in your ways, or you don't have much time, or you have a lot more responsibilities, less help from people, and you got to work for somebody else for the rest of your life. And I fight with this every day. I fight with that notion. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't internalize that I got all the time in the world, but I sometimes have an internal battle because I put a lot on my plate. There's so much that I want to accomplish in this life, but also it doesn't take much for me to feel comfortable. It also doesn't take much for me to feel uncomfortable. But me feeling comfortable tends to win out. Such is life in first world country, man. You know, I mean, shit. You could be homeless in America and you could still make a little something out of yourself. And that's just how it is. And so I know I'm drifting off a little bit, but like every time this comes to my mind, I have to speak on things like this and how precious time really is, which does bring me to my point. Time is too precious to keep trying to chase after people who don't want to be here. Because what will happen is then you'll try to make certain settlements or compromises that are unfair, just so you won't be lonely. I'm putting up quotations if you can't see me. Lonely. Wait, did I do quotations for lonely? Oh yeah, yeah. I think I did that because you can still feel lonely in a relationship. It just doesn't feel as bad because so you tell yourself, well, I mean, at least I still got her. You know what I'm saying? She ain't messing with nobody else. So you think? I mean, who knows? The fact of the matter is, bruh, like people only really need one reason to leave. So if whatever reason they stick with, then just go. If you feel like you've been doing your best and you're not you didn't deserve this or whatever, you feel like you're being treated unfair or whatever, obviously it's a lot of scenarios um in which they have a good point, or you feel like they don't have a good. It's very situational, is what I'm trying to say. But you can't keep fighting for somebody who doesn't want to fight for you, who doesn't want to fight for this relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's very tiring, and the time and the energy will be very much better spent just focused on your purpose. And okay, purpose aside, because I know a lot of people say I don't know what my purpose is or whatever. Your priorities, all right? And if you know your priorities is I got to get some money, then okay, then you build around that. If your priorities is happiness, getting in shape, eating better, whatever it is, then you got to build around that. And then then you'll start attracting other people like that. Cuz you might be down bad and you are trying to hold on to a woman who's down bad, you know, but I don't think you could, like in that mindset, I don't think you understand that you could someday actually be dealing with some successful women who aren't down bad, who don't blame others, you know, who don't make excuses, who who understands, life's a struggle until it ain't. Maybe life is always about a little bit of suffering, struggling, but that's the beauty of life. If everything was just a layup, I mean, that would be our demise in one way or the other. But you might find yourself somewhere dealing with somebody who got some high self-esteem. Now you just work on your goddamn self-esteem so you don't go around trying to damage other people and miss out on great opportunities by way of fulfillment, happiness, great sex, great relationship, happy children. I mean, that's what it is, bro. And I be telling myself, look, man, you are not too far away from life being just overwhelmingly great. And I actually see a lot of that starting to form in 2020. It started off just horrible, and I don't think it's going to let up too much. And I'm expecting some more catastrophes, but through it all, I see some great things forming. All right, guys, so keep the hope alive. This is not the year where you want to give up, man, because there's a lot of great that can come from you really sticking it out. All right, but you got to be real. You got to be real with yourself. You got to be real with what you want, and you got to cut off the fat. All right, your ass get some chicken breasts or whatever it is. Honestly, I don't know. I haven't had chicken in like 6 years or so. But when you get some chicken, you cut the fat off. Or I don't know. Pork chops, you cut the fat. I don't know. Something like that. Cause you got to cut the fat off. You get rid of the dead weight. You shed the dead skin or whatever it is. All right. But best wishes, people. I just had to get that across, man. So take care.